Win, win, lose, win, loss. Man, Erik ten Hag and Man United is just not Picasso in it. They don't draw in any of their matches apart of Champions League matches. Jokes aside, Man United having the talent and coverage of world class to average and abysmal as well. Inconsistent has been surrounding non-stop, not just result wise, even the match context scream inconsistency. Man United capable play a possession control style, or what people call in the Twitter or X, whatever you call, Ten Hag ball probably at the first half and then plummeted into the second half, revolving to a long ball for quick forwards. Besides, Man United could also play one match like how Man United should be playing, and then the next match deliver a peaceful performance. But what was the reason behind that? So in this video, we have a deeper look into why Man United so inconsistent in their matches, and will this consistency continue along the season? In case you didn't know, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I'm Marvin, codename CM. Welcome to the Code United channel once again. If you in any shape or form stumble into this channel and like this kind of content, do please like, share and subscribe to this channel, as each of your precious subscription will be a massive motivation for me to upload new content. And don't forget to ring the notification bell for every new upload. With that said, let's get straight into the video. Jumping to the conclusion, Man United struggling in their consistency can be separated into three different categories. First would be the defensive struggle, especially defending crosses. Second, the lack of trust of the over-reliance on individual players. And lastly, underperforming of players plus lack of cohesiveness among players and managers within the club. Kickstarting with defensive struggle. On the number side, United had conceded 38 goals in all competitions this season, 21 times in the Premier League and 14 goals in the Champions League group stage. With 21 goals conceded, had Man United be the second worst defensive record in the top 6 flight, with only Spurs conceded 1 more goals than the Red Devils. While there was no secret coming to 23-24 season, Man United defensively had been riddled with some of the players accumulate nagging to uncomfortable injuries. For example, Shaw hamstring issue, Malaysia knee issues, Varane in and out the pitch, while the most critical player for Man United defensive line is Lisandro Martinez, were not completely healed from his foot problems, made whole thing so much worse. Man United defensive line at times required to play their 4th, 5th, even 6th choice, where we see both Maguire and Evans starting for Man United was a torture view. However, in recent times, there was an argument that the former Ajax manager was putting himself in hot water after left out the available Rafael Varane in the Manchester derby. Although Ten Hag emphasized the tactical reason were preference to play a dominant foot defender on their dominant side can be reasonable, but the left out of United's most natural gifted defender against the Premier League new record breaker of Haaland might suggest a massive argument. Keeping on the defensive part, goalkeeping definitely considered as part of the defensive units. The introduction of the Cameroon ball-playing keeper Andre Onana after the man of the match performance especially showcased his amazing passing range as a goalkeeper in the previous Champions League final. With Erik ten Hag's obsession on playing out from the back for controlling of the match, Man Ten Hag ruthlessly allowed the club legend David De Gea to leave Man United as a free agent after more than a decade serving for the club, just to allow Onana to be the goalkeeper for Man United. In spite of the hype and attention that Man United could finally have a ball-playing keeper to help United play out from the back, Onana's performance had been described as disastrous. Constant mistake after mistake that led to an uninspiring result. To be much brutal, Onana have single-handedly causes Man United on the brink of the complete elimination for the Europe competition. Besides, Onana's forte ball playing were not fully utilized or used to the max, as Man United a lot of times going for a long ball after an aggressive press by the opponent. This abysmal performance had some fans and pundits question the purpose of signing, even called Onana the worst goalkeeper ever don the Man United shirt. Of course, one of the biggest criticisms for Man United defense come at the midfield, as the sight of an opponent going through United's midfield and arriving unmarked into the box to score has been a common one all season, as has that of the opposition playing through the first line of their press, leaving their fullbacks in 2-on-1 battles. Due to the fact Man United often had 2 of their midfielders playing high off the field in order to create overload, yet this causes the defensive midfielder or the holding midfielder to isolate and overwhelm with runners, while United advanced midfielder did not help track back any opponent during the transition. Second part, the lack of trust on the front three or the over-reliance on one player. Scott McTominay is the Man United leading scorer in the Premier League this season, with Bruno Fernandes is next on the list, and several other players, scoring a couple, really said everything for Man United offense. Marcus Rashford is one of them, but he has barely found the back of the net ever since the penalty against Everton. While Rasmus Højlund, Man United €85 million summer signing from Atalanta, who arrived with a big back injury, is yet to got off the mark in the league despite scoring 5 times in the Champions League. United have only scored 18 top-flight goals in this season, in which was lesser than some of the mid-flight teams like Wolves, Fulham, Everton, etc. On the FB report shows that Man United have the XG of 25.5 compared to the 18 goals was very worrisome, as Man United was far underperforming their goal conversion by approximately 7 goals. On the eye test, Man United attacking structure and tactics contain flawed, even though Man United, unlike previous couple seasons, were a very left-sided heavy team, but a lot of their chance creation still remain more of the left-hand side due to the fact some of the best offensive players for Man United were right-footed, hence tendency to drift left. For coming to the recent couple matches, with Garnacho gradually improvement in the performance and Anthony consistent contribution, both inverted wingers were very bad in crossing with their weaker foot, thus unable to deliver any quality service for their striker. Furthermore, Man United, although brought in Højlund, whom was a breath of fresh air of a talented striker, he and Martial contain fair share of their glaring weakness that required to compensate. Anthony Martial, whom have great ball control and capable playmaker as a false 9 striker, Martial do not possess high work rate, especially pressing from the front. Also, Anthony Martial have a tendency to drop off from the front, come towards the ball instead of pinning the defensive line, resulted Man United at times either the fullback or the wingers run behind but do not have any target for the cross. While Højlund's side, the Danish striker possessed high engine, willingness to press aggressively up front and also embrace physical confrontation, especially with back against a player. Højlund utilized his 6'3" strong frame, pinning the opponent when received the ball, but Højlund was not refined enough as he is often very prone to bad first touch or easily get caught off by opponent. By the way, Højlund's lack of Premier League goals did hurt his reputation, being that Man United other players refused to deliver service for him, being Dalot ill-fated shot against Bournemouth for the best example. With these two different profiles of strikers with obvious weakness plus inconsistency in the playmaking department either from the wingers or advanced midfielder, easily justified the lack of goals for Man United. Last point directed to Man United underperforming players or the lack of cohesive within the club, with the signature of Mason Mount, who view to inject additional energy and retain the playmaking of Christian Eriksen. Mount did not find his ground at all. Even worse, Mount's position under Erik ten Hag was a head scratcher due to the fact Mount obviously preferred to play as much advanced role, but that position had been occupied by the captain Bruno Fernandes. Mount was dropped deeper as a box-to-box midfielder, but he did not possess the defensive instinct in spite of his wide ground coverage. As for the other signings like Onana and Højlund had mentioned earlier, while for Amrabat at times showed his quality in terms of tempo setting and dictating plays, he had yet to really blossom or secure a definite permanent move to Man United yet. As for other non-new signings mentioned earlier, Rashford, after he had his best scoring season to date last season, he was rather poor in most of the matches, adding salt to injury. His lack of effort in terms of tracking back or pressing opponents had been heavily criticized, calling him to be dropped from the starting lineup for a long period of time. The other drop-off was Casemiro, who seeing himself be one of, if not the most crucial piece for Man United, being the world-class holding midfielder. But coming to this season, Casemiro in the club and country football really see himself plummeted in form. The Brazilian seems to lose all of his highly lauded defensive awareness, prone to lose ball at a dangerous position and lack of the recovery speed to defend. On the bright side, there was some players benefit heavily under some underperforming players, like Garnacho seems secured firmly as a starting left winger, Manu illustrated his class midfield performance, and Maguire had forced himself into the starting lineup. Nevertheless, with such mixed result of a sudden Man United league of dressing room where players were unhappy of Erik ten Hag and players requested a lighter training, caused uproar both fans and several other players, being that report players furious on the dressing room leaks to the press. Erik ten Hag even go beyond to ban certain news outlets during the press conference. After such action, Man United suddenly played one of the best football matches against a rival Chelsea, with chance after chance created and disciplined presses that forces Chelsea unable to play out from their half, have fans excited, the match being the turning point. Coming to the weekend, all come crashing down and burn mercilessly. Man United went back to the old habits, lose to Bournemouth 3-0 at home, brought all of us back to reality. Overall, the combination of defensive struggles, lack of trust within the attacking unit, and underperforming players is a perfect recipe for disaster. But with the benefit of the doubt, even with mention most of the blame lie on the players, Erik ten Hag was not immune to blame, as his tactics, like both attacking and defensive structure, had been questioning at times. His obsession on Rashford and McTominay definitely did not help him as well. Yet there were multiple factors or reasons for Man United inconsistency. At one match, Man United, quote, "if follow what Erik ten Hag wanted, could easily play any opponent out of their park. But at sometimes, could any championship could really give Man United a game." Since all this inconsistency might haunt Man United and no any action to allow Man United back on track, this will be a very long season to endure. That's the end of the video. What do you guys think? What will be your take on Man United being inconsistent? Comment down below so that we can have a discussion. Hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next one.